Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hi guys, so today I'm coming at you with a few tips for those of you who are heading off to university or college next month. Going there myself, there's a lot of things I learned, but I guess there's one thing that I think everybody's missed out on, and that's the fact that accommodation wise, sometimes there's nothing wrong with staying at home with your parents and commuting to university. Now I know what you're all thinking, why would I want to stay with my parents who don't understand me, who I've been wanting to get away from for the last 18 years, but there are some perks. So I thought I'd come to you today and just tell you about them, and hopefully maybe some of you will reconsider renting out that ridiculously expensive ensuite room for comfort of your own home with your own bed and all the space that you could have at your parents' house. The first perk of living with your parents at home instead of renting a ridiculously expensive university accommodation is that the rent will probably be cheaper. I guess this depends on your parent. I guess most parents are quite nice and they'll let you stay, I suppose, if you contribute to the food or you give a little bit of rent. Some parents are really nice and they'll let you stay for free. Who knows? But I'm sure it's a lot less than the money that student accommodation will be asking for you. A lot more of the money will stay in your pocket, and that's always a good thing. So rent will probably be cheaper at your parents' house, I guess, unless your parent is like a militant and wants you to suffer. So the second great thing about being at home is that you're always going to be guaranteed of having a bit more of a meal. And now there's that stigma attached to being at university and going through college life and eating absolute rubbish because number one, you can't be bothered, number two, you can't afford it, number three, who has time to cook when you could be out doing all the things that you love doing, like, I don't know, going to the parties or socialising. But at least when you're at home, you'll have access to your closet, to your cabinet and your fridge, and there'll be a lot more room to stock up on healthy stuff. And I'm sure that your parents are really into cooking food, so you could actually know that being at home, you'll actually get a good meal in you at least once every day. The third thing is you'll have company at home. So company is always a lovely thing, and especially when you're stressed out and you just want a way to kind of kick back. And I know a lot of people miss that kind of thing when they're at university. They miss having their parents there to just chat to and just open themselves up to. You know, you go to a place that's new, and university, not everybody finds friends in the first week, and most of us feel quite lonely for a bit. So having your parents there already, where you already have that relationship with you, where you already have that friendship with them and they're cool with you and that kind of thing, it's really nice, especially when you're going through a stressful situation. So that company, you might not like it now, you might think that they're cramping your style or they're getting on your nerves, but at university, when you need it most, they'll be there for a hug, a chat and a cup of tea. Great, right? The fourth great thing is that you actually have time to save some income, and now whether that's to, I don't know, to buy your own flat eventually, or I don't know, buy a car or buy clothes, as some of us like doing. Again, knowing that you won't have to, I guess, spend as much on accommodation because you have your parents and they're going to help you out a little bit, means that you have a little bit more to save for yourself and doing the things that you actually like. I'd always recommend anyone to start saving money at university age. This is probably one thing that I wish I did more of, and I didn't actually save a lot at university, which is really bad. But if I went back, I would definitely would have saved a lot of money. If you're at your parents' house or you're a relative's house, then you'll have that more of an opportunity to do that versus if you were, again, in student accommodation. The great thing is that you'll be living with people who already know all your awful habits. I'm not saying that all of us like leave socks all over the place, or all of us don't know how to use a bathroom properly, because, you know, that's not everybody. But the good thing is that you don't have to get into a routine with other people and then they find out things that they don't like and there's things that you don't like, whether they don't wash their dishes or they leave the fridge half open or whatever it is. Your parents already know you, so it's not like you're going to be clashing with your routine. Say if you have to get up early in the morning, you'll be waking them up, or they get up early in the morning and they wake you up, and that's not a nice thing, especially when you've had a hard night studying, you just want to sleep. Getting back to the whole thing about clearing up, because that's one thing that I think students do a really bad thing of. At least being at home means that you won't always have to do it on your own. And one thing I hated about having student accommodation, especially when I was in a house, was I had to do a lot of cleaning. So just those awful chores like washing dishes and ironing and laundry and that kind of stuff. It's nice to know that in your parents' house there's actually more of a possibility that the work is going to be split evenly, and it's not going to be one person all the time clearing it after everyone else. You can kind of talk about it with them, have a bit more of a adult conversation with your parents over maybe some immature flatmates that you don't exactly get along with. Oh, laundry is one of those things that you just wish did not exist. If I didn't have to wash clothes ever again, I would never wash them ever again, because laundry is just one of those dull tasks. I hate laundry. And especially in the UK, like, the laundry system here is dire. Yeah, it doesn't wash your clothes. Like, the washing machines, the dryers, they don't do a good job. So I always loved the fact that I could come home at Christmas time, for instance, and wash all my clothes, and they'd be washed properly at my mum's house, and they'd have that really nice smell that they don't have when you're at university and you've got to use their damp systems, because they were just so old they didn't actually wash the clothes, they just fragrance them. But at least if you're living with your parents, you'll be able to get a good routine going. Your clothes will be washed regularly and you won't be that smelly person in class. I think the last thing also is knowing that you'll have a lot more of a you'll be guaranteed a bit of a bigger living space. Classically, university accommodation is quite cramped and small, and you're limited to like a room, kind of like this, I suppose, where that's literally your living space, your eating space, your studying space, your chilling space, your entertaining space. You get the idea. At least in your parents' house, if they have a house, you'll have your bedroom, you'll have your living room, your dining room, your study, your kitchen. You'll be able to go to different places in the house, so you won't feel so claustrophobic. That is never a good idea. Never a good idea to study and sleep in the same room, because that just messes up everything. You'll be thinking till something like 2 o'clock in the morning. It just doesn't work. So it's a good idea to kind of separate those two. Have a sleeping space, have a studying space, have a living space if you can. And it'll just help you all together, just fix your head and get things going and be inspired in the right kind of way. It's not all bad, guys. I'm sure that most of you will probably still think, oh, you know, you don't want to be at home because your parents are too bossy, or this is your time to spread your wings and just get away from all the hassles of being at home. I thought it would be a nice thing to share with you guys, just to let you know that you have an option. You don't have to go to a student accommodation if you don't feel like it. And you can still do a good job. It might take a lot longer to get actually to your campus or get into your lectures, because maybe you'll have to commute, but weigh it up, see what happens, see how you feel, and you might save yourself stress and money and, I don't know, putting on £15 at Freshers Week. So I hope you found that helpful, guys, and leave me a comment in the down bar if you're going to university. Let me know what you're studying. I make videos on this channel weekly, I suppose, and you can keep up with me on my social medias. I'll put them in the down bar or somewhere along the screen. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, then go ahead and click the subscribe button down there somewhere, and it will make my day. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to all of you who are starting university or college very soon. Bye.